Look at this. If deposit rate, which is going lower from here on, bothers you, then watch this 55 seconds message.
As a young child, Sarah says she was so afraid of fires, she kept a bag with her favorite dolls under her bed, ready for a quick escape. She was brought back to her past life to find out why she'd been so afraid of fire. Why were you so afraid of fire?
Well, I saw myself, I was a young girl, I was about 11 or 12, younger than I am now. And I lived in a farmhouse about 100 years ago. And I saw myself getting up one night and I felt there was smoke in the air, and I was panicked. I was on the second story of a farmhouse. I ran out into the hall, and the only escape from the house would be down a staircase. It was down the staircase to the front of the house, and it was covered with flames. I saw flames crawling like up the banister and on the wall and on the floor, and I was completely panicked. And my first reaction was to find my parents. So I ran across the hall into my parents' bedroom. And by the time I got in there, I had run through flames to get through there. And my nightgown had caught on fire. I dropped on the floor to try to put it out. And I looked around. My parents weren't in there. I felt frustrated. I was panicked. I was thinking, why didn't they get me out? Why didn't they try to help me? I knew that I couldn't get out. I felt that I was choking. And then I think at that point I passed out. I don't remember anything more.
So this is why you feel now you had such a fear of fires. Now, being regressed and recalling this other life where you apparently died in the fire?
Yes.
Did that now make your certainly understanding of why you had the fear? Did the fear then go away?
Yeah, it did. I unpacked my bag from under my bed.
With your dolls?
Yeah. I wasn't afraid of it anymore. And I had such a fear that if I saw a fire on movies, I'd go into hysterics and I'd cry. And I haven't had problems with that since. So I think it really helped. Whatever it was, it helped.
Now I wanted to ask you, having been regressed, recalling a past life, does it make you fear death less?
Well, from what I saw, death, it was over quickly. And it was probably 30 seconds of panicking and being afraid, but then it was over. And I remember looking down on the house. And once I had died, I just felt there was no pain. It was kind of a relief. So, yeah, I guess I'm not as afraid of death. If that's what it's like, that's what it really is like. It was painless.
Hi, YouTubers. I'm excited to give you an update about our own
One minute, I have to get back to So, what are your comments on this video?
That there is life after death, Prabhu. It's all about soul that doesn't, it cannot be destroyed, indestructible. And there is afterlife.
Someone else? Who else? Ambika, what do you think about it? Nawa, what do you think about it? Y'all can hear me or not?
I think Nava, you are muted just now.
Yeah. Nawa, you're-
Sorry. I said that accept what comes and nothing will be difficult.
Okay, can you see this or not?
See what, Prabhu?
No, Prabhu, can't see it.
Can you
Only can see your picture.
Yeah. Then they can see the Oprah Winfrey. What do you think of this?
Yeah, you can see that?
Yes, I can see that.
Okay, what do you think of this video?
Already answered.
I didn't hear anything. Can you repeat?
Oh, I said accept what comes, then nothing will be difficult, including that. Be prepared and accept it.
Okay, good. Ambika, is there? Ambika,
Ambika's line a bit unstable. She's been going in and out. She just left.
oh really? Yeah.
There's another Ambika there.
Okay. The other one haven't seen yet, right?
I think, Prabhu, this one we did the previous class, the second week, about the
already,
invisible driver. Yes.
Yes, we did
Yeah, we
already.
did this. We did this.
I remember the handsome guy and the
Ah.
beautiful car.
Okay. Then we go to the next one. I also thought, we have done. I don't know why it's like not done. Okay, let's go for the next. Okay, please share a happy incident and a challenging situation in your life.
Happy incident every day is a happy day for me.
Hmm.
Challenging is also every day a challenging day for me.
Okay. Subhadra,
Bit of I'm thinking. Happy incident. I think a happy incident would be the day I bought my car. I was happy about it. And then challenging situation in my life, I think it would be during the pandemic time. It was a very challenging situation because, there was no human interaction. Can't go out, cannot do the normal things. Wasn't able to go to temple, wasn't able to do service, and wasn't able to engage in a lot of things, which, the 1.5 years was just, like wasted like that. That's the most challenging situation that I can think of. Thank you.
Arminda, Can you say one, share a happy incident and a challenging incident?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Okay, the happy incident was when I was chosen as a medical volunteer to serve the Mercy Malaysia group towards the Balkan War, that time the World War during the 90s. And then the challenging time was, facing all the war casualties, treating them. That was the most challenging because that time I was very, very young and we were not, even though we do learn about all this war disaster in our Red Crescent, but being in the real life challenging is totally different than what you study and learn during the courses. When you are there in the real life during the war situation, it's totally different. You just like want to leave and want to come back, but you can't. That was the most challenging time.
Which war was it?
Sorry?
Which war was this?
This was in Kosovo, the Balkan War in 1990s, sir.
Oh, really? Huh?
Prabhuji. Yes.
So why am I suffering? The who am I is, when we talk about the general proof of existence of soul, is my watch, my body, my outer body experiences, reincarnation stories. These are proof of the existence soul. And then your actual body is when you are from young, old, and then you see people dying. Consciousness pervades the entire body. When the soul leaves, the body just lies still. Change of garments, like you are taking new garments every time you, and then the size of the soul is 1,000 of a tip of a hair. So this is actually the size of the soul, so it's very small. And then the transfer of the soul to one body of another was last week. I mean, not last week, 2 weeks ago. Okay, what can give you happiness? Can health and wealth give you happiness?
No.
Health is the most important thing, because I previously, a couple of years ago, I have been falling sick and I've been going in and out of the medical center. And that's the time I realized there's no better happiness than being healthy. And when you fall sick, you also go through a lot of things. You find out what is love, and who's able to nurse you when you're not well, and whether they're able to understand you, what you're going through when you're not well. So I sincerely believe health is the most important thing in my life.
So can health make you happy?
Yes, not can make you happy. At least you can go on life normal. Your body is functioning, your legs are functioning, you're not dependent on anyone, you're mobile. That's something very good.
So your answer is yes lah, basically more in the yes form lah.
Yes, yes.
Okay. How about the others? Can you tell?
For me, a peace of mind. Because I realized that when I have a peace of mind on a daily basis, I can do a lot of things peacefully, with a clear mind. So that peace of mind can give me happiness.
Okay. And then Aminda?
Happiness is like, every morning that when you can wake up, that's one day extra is given to you. That's what I consider as happiness, lah, sir.
Can wealth and health give you happiness?
Wealth, no. Health is considered yes, and once you have health, you have wealth automatically.
Okay, once you have health, you got wealth.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Oh, So what happens if you got no health and no wealth?
I think the practicality is you still need wealth. Otherwise, you cannot move on in life. You'll be dependent on other people to provide. So we need to earn substantially to pay for our cost of living. And I also believe that we can live within our means.
Okay, basically, health and wealth can give you happiness or not. It depends. If you don't have health and you don't have wealth, you will get distress. Looking at it the other way around. If you don't have health and you don't have wealth, you will become a bit distressed, isn't it? But the health and wealth on its own cannot give you happiness. How's that? That's my interpretation. I may be wrong. I'm sharing my viewpoint. Okay, any other points anyone want to say on this before we go to the next slide? No?
Can we also say like, it's like both side of the coins?
Both sides of the coin, okay?
Mhm.
Let's carry on. Can money give you complete happiness? Just say yes or no.
No,
For me, no.
Okay, who else?
No, sir.
The third person? Four of you now. Tika, are you here?
Yeah, my internet is unstable today.
Okay, never mind. Wherever you are, you just tell me. And money gives you complete happiness. That means you just have money. Can it give you complete happiness?
No.
No. Huh? So you need more than money, right?
Yes.
This one they didn't give me PDF form, so they're very tough. So sometimes somebody will think after joining a school, he is very happy with it. Then after he joined the school, he completed the 10th level, he's happy. He completed 12th level, he's happy. Then he's joining the college. He's always thinking that if I can go college, I'll be happy. So after he joined college, he's thinking if I get degree, I'll be happy. After getting degree, he said, I place in the campus, I'll be happy. Then after that, he said, I get a better job, I'll be happy. Then he will say, he or she, I getting married, I'll be happy. I build a house, happy. I get this, happy. I get this, happy. But once you get that, you still want something else. So basically, happiness is always an illusion. You always want something else to become more happy. So, can you ever lead a happy life? When you are young, you don't, you got lot of time, but you got very little money and you got lot of energy. When you are middle, you don't have time, but money you have and energy you have. When you're old, you got lot of time again, and then you got a lot of money, but no more energy. This is life. There are three types of misery: Adhyamika, Adibhuktika, and Adaivika. What is that? Okay, who would like to read this?
Adhyatmika klesha, miseries caused by one's own mind and body. Body and mind give rise to immeasurable problems. In year 2000 in America, 19 million youths were suffering from mental illness. Every day, 1,200 youths were attempting to commit suicide, and 1/10 of them were successful.
So you see, misery is caused by your mind. Your mind can cause you misery in this material world. Okay, who would like to read this next? It's the second type of misery.
Adibhautika klesha, miseries caused by other living entities. Even if one's body, mind are healthy, other living being, example, enemy, boss, colleague, relative, family members, terrorist, bedbug, mosquito, etc., is sure to bring some miseries.
Okay, first is misery is caused by your own self, your own mind and thinking. Second is misery is caused by other living entities. Okay, now third one, who would like to?
I'll read, Prabhu.
Yeah.
Adi Daivika Klesha, miseries caused by nature. December 6, 2004, tsunami killed about 150,000 people in a day and left millions homeless in 9 countries. Forest fire, cyclones, earthquakes.
So all these are caused by nature. So in this material world, the miseries are caused by three. One is yourself, one is other living entities, and third is by material nature. Why are these suffering? Okay, who would like to read this? Ambika, you want to do?
Okay. Mem upitya punarjanma dukhalayam asastvatam napnuvanti mahatmana samsidat paramam gata. After telling me the great souls who are yogis in devotion never return to this temporary world which is full of miseries because they have attained the highest perfection.
Thank you. So Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita chapter 8 verse 15 that if you reach the spiritual world, you don't have miseries caused by your mind because you are clear-headed. You know, you don't have your soul is there. You will not take your subtle body. So you will have full illumination and full knowledge. And then you won't have other living entities causing you pain because all are also perfect beings in the spiritual world. And then there is no material nature to cause you problems because in the spiritual world, everything is very pleasant and peaceful. It's called Vaikunta, without miseries. We are now in place which has miseries, and when we reach the spiritual world, it is without miseries. Okay, who would like to read this now?
Natat basayate suryo na sasanko na pavaka yat katva na nivartante tat dhamma paramam mama. that supreme abode of mind is not illuminated by the sun or moon, nor by fire or electricity. Those who reach it never return to this material world.
So once you reach there, you will never return. You won't fall down anymore. I've given you the example previously of how the acharyas and the small boy. You all remember the story? Anyone did not remember? Can you let me know? Then I can repeat it. All understand? All remember?
Yes, Prabhu, sorry, which story again, Prabhu?
You see, we fell down from the spiritual world because we were wanting to be independent. And we came
Yes.
to the material world. And then Krishna here is promising that when you go to the spiritual world, you won't fall down again. But then if we fell down once, how come you think that we won't make a mistake and fall down again? So then the acharyas explain that when you tell a child that fire burns, he may not believe until he takes his hand and burn himself on the fire. Then he say, oh yeah, fire does burn. So in the same way, when the Lord says that the material world is not a good place, even you want to be independent, you have to go there. Then he doesn't believe. He thinks the material world is okay. Someone's mic is on. Can you mute your mic? So the acharyas explain that when you come to this material world and you see all the miseries and you go through an experience, when you go back to the spiritual world, you will remember all your lives in the material world and all the problems and the miseries that you got. And then you can understand that you will never want to go back to this material world. Okay, so basically that is the situation. And then the spiritual world is illumined by itself. The light comes from its own place. You don't need a sun or moon. So you no need to have too hot or too cold. Everything is just very pleasant. And the sun sometimes comes and sometimes it disappears. But there, no, light is always there. Not to worry. Talking about spiritual world. So the spiritual world is eternal and blissful. The material world is temporary and has a lot of misery. That is why the scriptures always say, be intelligent, don't be caught up in this material world and think that you are getting happiness also, but then you are also getting a lot of pain. And your pain is, when you are born, you are pain in your mother's stomach. When you die also, there will be pain. Okay. Can you all share any of the sufferings you have undergone in this material world?
Yes, Prabhu, a lot of sufferings.
Just one.
Don't know which one to
Just
name.
one. If you got a lot, you got just say one.
Just one sufferings. I think mostly financial sufferings, Prabhu.
Okay. How about Nava?
I don't know whether I should say suffering or like you asked earlier, challenges or the daily things.
Challenges is suffering. Now is suffering. You suffered.
Long story, Prabhu. How to shorten?
How to shorten?
I can write a book.
No, we don't want a book because we got no time to listen to one book.
Very personal, Prabhu. I don't think I would like to share. Sorry.
Not say you only got one suffering, some other suffering which is not so bad.
Okay, I can say that when I felt sick and I had to go in and out of the medical center, that was one of those sufferings that I didn't really like.
Okay, how about Harminder?
Siblings relationship, Prabhuji. Not so good relationships.
That's the suffering. Ambika,
Mm, financially,
financially, yeah, you are very down financially. Okay, my suffering was when I was so sick, I could not get up from bed, and then I was sick for 1 month, and there was no one with me. I was alone in the house. So sometimes I'll wake up at 9 o'clock, get up, take a little bath, go temple, eat some little bit. So the temple is opposite my house, and come home and then relax, and then night time again go and eat something and come back and sleep. So 1 whole month I was there. And I didn't tell my wife and my son also, because my wife also was not well. So then I thought, why I want to give them extra attention. So I was thinking maybe I'll die also. That was the suffering. Anyway, I didn't die. I am here still. Okay, by Krishna's mercy. The problems are something which we don't want but get it, and is something which we want but don't get it. Do you agree with this? Problems are something which we don't want but get it, and something which we want but don't get it.
Yes, I agree 100%, Prabhu.
Okay, anyone else can give comment? If you say no, you must tell why no. All agree, yeah? All agree, then I proceed. Anyone disagree? Okay, there are different types of problem. One is relative problem and one is real problem. What is relative problem and what is real problem? So example, a real problem is common to all and nobody wants it, but no one can avoid it. That's a real problem. Relative problem is exams, terrorism, corruption, earthquake, disease, old age, death, stress. Oh, sorry. You are supposed to tell me which is a relative problem and which is a real problem among all these. Exam, is it a relative or real problem?
Relative,
Terrorism,
real,
anyone disagree? All of you agree that terrorism is real.
I think I will go for relative, Prabhu.
Okay.
Yes, relative. Mm.
Okay. Corruption,
I think also relative.
anyone thinks otherwise? Earthquake,
real,
okay. Who else says not real? You see, a real problem is common to all. Nobody wants it and nobody can avoid it. That's a clue. So earthquake is not common to all. So it's not under real, it's under relative. Okay, disease.
Yes, it's a real problem.
Disease is real because it's common to all.
Common to all.
Real old age.
That's real as well.
Okay, death.
Also real.
Stress.
Relative.
Who says it's real?
I say real,
Okay. And then anxiety.
seemingly it's real now.
Relative.
Okay, unemployment.
That's
Seemingly
also
real,
Relative.
Do everything real, huh? Pollution.
Relative. Relative.
Yeah, I give you an example. There are 10 people. There are some children of very rich parents. They no need to work at all for the rest of their life. And they did an interview with all of them. And then some of them, most of them said, what's the point of working? I don't need to work. I don't want to work. They all asked, do you want to work? Most of them said, no, I don't want to work. Why should I work? I got enough money. I don't need to work. My inheritance was so much that I don't have to work. I still can survive. And then when I die, I can leave it to my family. And they don't need to work also. So basically, unemployment, pollution, anxiety, stress is all under relative. The old age is disease everyone gets. There is nobody who can say that, of course, if you die early, that's different story. But everyone will come to an old age. Everyone will have disease. But earthquake is not common. Corruption not common. Terrorism not common. Exam, some people never took exam, never go to school. So these are the real problems. Birth, death, old age, disease. All other problems are relative. This is the answer. Okay. So birth is,
Prabhu, just one question. How about the pandemic, Prabhu? It like everybody.
relative.
So when they die, so it becomes real because of COVID-19.
Yeah, that is death. The reason for their death is the germ, disease.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's under disease. So that one is under real problems. You will get disease, but you may not get the pandemic. You may not get this disease. You may get some other disease. So it basically is under disease. So pandemic is also under real problem because it comes under disease. Okay.
Okay, I understand.
So birth is traumatic. So this is a real problem. Everyone has to be born, otherwise you're not here. Disease is everyone get disease. Old age is if you live a full life, you get old age. That is everybody must die. Even the scorpion must die. Not only you. Can anyone escape this? Let's see a movie.
Have you seen this new flipbook creator? You can create flipbooks and ebooks in just 2 minutes, direct from your.
I can drown a drink of water and kill a dead tree. Wait till you see Muhammad Ali.
Boxing legend Muhammad Ali has died. The 74-year-old had been increasingly frail after being hospitalized several times, most recently for respiratory issues. His health issues were complicated by the Parkinson's disease he suffered for the past 3 decades. The former heavyweight champion was at one point the most recognizable person in the world, known for his bold proclamations.
Can you wait a while because the Muslims are praying, so internet usage.
Never talk about who's gonna stop me. Well, ain't nobody gonna stop me. Not a heavyweight in the world fast enough to stop me.
Ali was born Cassius Clay and rose to fame after winning an Olympic gold medal in 1960 as a light heavyweight. By 1964, he was crowned heavyweight champion of the world after defeating Sonny Liston. It was the same year he changed his name to Muhammad Ali after embracing Islam.
Who you want me to fight? Who do the press want me to fight? Who do you think you should fight? The best man. Who is the best man? Who do you think? I don't know. I believe it to you. Find him.
Ali was also a social activist, refusing induction into the armed services based on his religious beliefs, taking a stance against the Vietnam War. Ali suffered career setbacks after being convicted of draft evasion in 1967. He was suspended from boxing and stripped of his titles, returning to the ring in 1970. A year later, he suffered a bruising 15-round loss to then-champion Joe Frazier in a bout that had been billed the fight of the century.
I predict the fight wouldn't go the distance. I'll stop it. Stop me, you.
But Ali bounced back and won in a rematch against Smokin' Joe in 1974. He regained his title that same year in the legendary Rumble in the Jungle in Zaire against George Foreman. His final fight against Trevor Berbick in 1981 would be the last time the legendary icon would take to the ring before being diagnosed with Parkinson's in 1984. Post-boxing, Ali led a quiet life away from the limelight for the most part. But in 1996, he would bring spectators to their feet as he lit the Olympic torch in Atlanta with his hands shaking from Parkinson's. Ali spent the later part of his life continuing to raise money and awareness for various charitable causes, including Parkinson's.
He's handled it like a champ. He's fought it like any other opponent he's had, raised a lot of money for research and awareness, and has really enhanced the Parkinson's community in his way. So just be happy for him. Hannah said, my dad said, I've lived the life of 100 men.
And his courageous spirit never forgotten. Bonnie Ghosh, Associated Press, New York.
So that was the case of what is loose then? Huh? So, can anyone escape birth, death, old age, and disease? Even Muhammad Ali think that he's very strong and all that, he still succumbed to disease. So there is always misery. There is no such thing as everything is great. Then we come okay, who would like to read this? Who hasn't read?
I will read, Prabhuji.
Okay.
Brahma Bhuvanal Loka Punar Avartino Arjuna Mam Upteya Tu Kaunteya Punar Janma Na Vidyate. From the highest planet in the material world down to the lowest, all are places of misery wherein repeated birth and death take place. But one who attains to my abode, O son of Kunti, never takes birth again. Thank you.
Krishna is saying, you come to my spiritual world, you never take birth again. Who can understand real problem, animal or human beings? What's your answer?
Human beings.
Humans.
Okay. Anyone else has different answer? Okay, we take it as human. Why is human being can understand the real problem? Because they can question. You see this poor fellow goat. He's seeing another goat being killed. And he's thinking, oh, lucky I'm not that goat. But he never think that one day he is also going to be killed. So basically, we see people die, and we say, luckily we are not the dead, not the person dying. But we forget that we are going to die anyway. We are next in line. Then there's this story of Yudhishthira Maharaj test by Yaksha. There is, you see, the Pandavas were very thirsty. So the first of them, one of them found the lake. He said, go and bring water. for the others. So he went, he drank the water and he fainted there. And then, then after that, the second Pandava went. Nakula went, then Sahadeva went. He saw his brother. Then he could not wake him up, but he said, "Let me drink water first." So he drank water, and this Yaksha came out, and he told Sahadeva, "You must answer the question." He said, "Get lost. Who are you?" And he drank the water and he fell down dead. Then another Bhima went, and after that Arjuna went. All of them same problem. Then Maharaj Yudhishthira went, and he saw his brothers all on the floor dead. Then he was going to drink. Then the Yaksha said, "You must answer the question before you are allowed to drink." So Maharaj Yudhishthira never said no to him. He said, "Okay, ask your question. What benefit I will get if I answer your question correctly?" He said that, "I will give you back the life of your brothers, and you can drink the water." He said, "Okay, so be it." So a lot of questions was asked. All Yudhishthira Maharaj gave the correct answer. And then one last question. Who would like to read this? This is the last question.
Ahani bhutani kachatiha yamalayam sesa swavaram ichhanti kim ascharyam ataparam. Hundreds and thousands of living entities meet death at every moment, but a foolish living being nonetheless thinks himself deathless and does not prepare for death. This is the most wonderful thing in this world.
So the question Yaksha asked is, what is the most wonderful thing in the world? And this Yudhishthira Maharaj says, you are seeing everyday people dying. And you see everyone dying, and you think that you are not going to die now. You will die some late time. You still got a long time before you die. So you don't prepare for that. This is the most wonderful thing in this world. That's what Yudhishthira Maharaj said. Do you all agree with this or not agree?
I agree, Prabhu.
Nava, what do you think?
Agree, Prabhu.
So all of you must do what? Must prepare for?
Prepare for the afterworld.
Yeah, very good. All of you pass 100%. Life is a combination of happiness and sadness. Sometimes the baby will laugh, sometimes he will cry. We are also like that. When the happy things come, we are very happy. When the sad things come, we are very sad. So this is life. Happiness in the spiritual world is real bliss. And happiness in the material world is reduced level of sadness. It's something that reduces your level of sadness. Supposing you are feeling not warm, you are feeling okay. So that means because there is not hot, you are feeling happy. Otherwise, you feel hot or you feel cold, you become not happy. So absence of cold and absence of heat. So it becomes a reduced level of sadness. If you got health, you are happy, right? When you don't have health, when health is not good, when there is no bad health, you are happy. But if there is bad health, you are not happy. Because that means there is no health is not bad. Basically, it's actually not happy. Anyone likes to add on to this? Anything? You okay with this? Or you don't agree with this also can come, you can say. Okay, happiness in the material world. It's like someone is being caught and then he's put into the water and he's feeling very miserable. And when he comes out, he takes a breath and he feels relief from the pain. That is when you don't have pain, you become happy. Happiness in the spiritual world is where you are always with a lot of nice friends, enjoying yourself with the Supreme Lord. And then for the fish, the natural habitat of the fish is water. And for the Atma, the natural habitat is the spiritual world. So this is not our natural habitat. Okay, Subhadra, you can read this.
Subhadra left already, Prabhu.
Okay, left. Okay, who else is there? Arvinda or Ambika?
Evam swachite swata hiva sida atma priyo rito bhagavan ananta tam nirvato niyartato bhajita samsara hitu paramas chayatra. Thus being fixed, one must render service unto the super soul situated in one's own art by his omnipotency, because he is the almighty personality of Godhead, eternal and unlimited. He is the ultimate goal of life, and by worshipping him, one can end the cause of the conditioned state of existence.
So what else besides this will you get when you come towards closer to the Lord?
Peace of mind. Don't get excited. In control of your emotions and feelings. Accept people for who they are. Don't try to force and change people. And be very careful with the words that comes out from your mouth towards others.
Okay, Duga, what do you think? Besides rendering service, and you come closer to the Lord, you will go to the spiritual world. That is one benefit. What is the other thing you feel when you come closer to the Lord? Ambika, are you there? Or Harminder?
Eternal, sir. You will get eternal.
Okay, you get it. Do you get thrill? You get bliss?
Yes, bliss, eternal bliss.
So what is the most beneficial thing is to become closer to the Lord. And it's something that the bliss will be always permanent. So long as you are close to him, your bliss will be permanent. And then how to come closer to him is the nectar of the holy name. Okay. Ambika, are you there? Otherwise, Hamida, you can read this.
Okay, Prabhuji. By performing this Sankirtana Yajna, the congregational chanting of holy name, people will be happy economically, politically, socially, religiously, and culturally. In the present age of Kali, there will eventually be a great scarcity of water, scarcity of water, anarchy for the general populace due to ignorance and the scarcity of yajnik ingredients will neglect to perform yajnas. Srimad Bhagavatam therefore advises yajne sankirtana praye yajanti prayeyi yajanti hi sumedasa. After all, yajna is meant to satisfy the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In this age of Kali, there is great scarcity of ignorance.
Scarcity.
Sorry, sir?
So you pronounce it as scarcity.
Scarcity and ignorance. Nonetheless, everyone can perform Sankirtana Yajna. Every family in every society can conduct Sankirtana Yajna at least every evening. In this way, there will be no disturbance and scarcity of rain. It is essential for the people in this age to perform the Sankirtana Yajna in order to be materially happy and advance spiritually.
What is Sankirtana Yajna? It is chanting of the holy name and it's also congregational chanting. You get together and you chant with other people. Or you can do private chanting by doing japa, or you can even chant on your own in front of your altar. So that is actually Sankirtan Yagya, but Sankirtan Yagya is more if you is especially pleasing if you are able to get together and chant the holy name. So the second thing is preaching is the essence. Once you learn the Bhagavad Gita, you understand the Bhagavad Gita, you should also get people to read the Bhagavad Gita because that is the best benefit you can do for people. So you should preach to them to buy the Bhagavad Gita, to read the Bhagavad Gita. Then that is actually very, very important. It shows your real compassion. Sharing is caring. Who would like to read this?
Sharing is caring. A pure devotee of the Lord like Brahma and persons in a disciplined succession are always unhappy to see the perplexities of the conditioned souls who are suffering the outslaws of the threefold miseries which pertain to the body and mind, to the disturbance of material nature, and to many other such material disadvantages. Not knowing adequate measures for relieving such difficulties, suffering persons sometimes pose themselves as leaders of the people, and the unfortunate followers are put into further disadvantages under such so-called leadership. This is like a blind man's leading another blind man to fall into a ditch. Therefore, unless the devotees of the Lord take pity on them and teach them the right path, their lives are hopeless failures. The devotees of the Lord who voluntarily take the responsibility of raising the foolish materialistic sense enjoyers are as confidential to the Lord as Lord Brahma.
So basically, is you are supposed to help other people spiritually. There are people who are drowning in the material ocean, and you have the ability because you already got a taste for it. So you have the ability to help them. So please do your duty in life and get people to also at least get the Bhagavad Gita and read the Bhagavad Gita. That is the starting point. And then if you can further convince them, teach them more about chanting and all that. So this is the best sharing and caring you can do for anyone. So Shravanam is speaking about spiritual life. So the last one now we show you this.
If you're in separation with your twin flame, you really need to hear this.
We are twin flames in permanent union, and we help others to this.
This is Radhanath Maharaj.
According to the Bhagavad Gita, as well as according to the teachings of Lord Buddha, the source of suffering is that the body is temporary. Life is temporary.
You all can hear?
Therefore, everything is subjected to birth,
Can hear, Prabhu.
old age, disease, and death. In the Vedas explain there are 3 types of sufferings. Adhyatmaka, the sufferings of one's own body and mind. Adhibhautika, the suffering due to other living beings. And Adhidaivika, the sufferings due to natural circumstances, like heat or cold, earthquakes. And these sufferings are always there, potentially, at any moment, to this physical body. The soul, Gita explains, Najayate mriyate vakadachit, that the source of life within the body, the source of consciousness, is the Atma, or the soul. And that soul is transcendental. In Sanskrit, Satchit Ananda. The soul is eternal, full of knowledge and full of bliss. And that's who we are. The soul is like the driver of the car, and the body is like the car. We're seeing through our eyes, hearing through our ears, smelling through our nose, tasting through our tongue, touching through our skin, thinking through our brain, loving through our heart. But who are we? Are we a brain or a heart or an eye or an ear? We are the witness. We are the soul. That is who we are. And that soul is by nature full of love, full of fulfillment. But when that soul identifies itself with the body, thinking that this is me, and becomes completely immersed in that state, then the soul has to identify with all of the vulnerabilities and frailties of this body. That is the source of all suffering. But in many ways, the sufferings in this world are blessings because they help us to take very seriously, if we make that choice, to really understand what is deeper, what is higher than all these temporary pleasures and pains, honor and dishonor, happiness and distress, health and disease, success and failure, birth and death. The nature of the world around us, it's constituted on the basis of dualities. One brings pleasure, one brings pain. And to the degree we're attached to something that gives us pleasure, to that same degree we suffer when it's lost. And ultimately, because everything is under the consumption of time, everything will be lost. So going through these experiences, thoughtful people contemplate, is there something higher? Is there something deeper? Is there something more to life than this? And all the great saintly teachers and all the great saintly scriptures, they are leading us in that direction, that there is something more. This world is just a temporary place, but this world can be a launching pad to help us to realize the inner treasures within our own heart. And it's usually the sufferings of this world that serve as an impetus for us to not just theoretically try to understand what is beyond, but to feel the urgent need to do something about it, to realize and experience the essence of the self. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna tells, Dukkalayam Ashashvatam, that the nature of this world, when we are in ignorance of our true self, is suffering. Potentially, there can be suffering at any moment, whoever we are. However wealthy, however educated, however powerful, disease, some other person, some natural circumstance could create a disaster, create a tragedy. So whatever happiness anybody has in this world, it's so tottering. It's like a drop of water on a lotus leaf. At any moment, it could slip away. So where is permanent happiness? Where is freedom from suffering? Only on the spiritual platform. And that's what all the great sages have come to tell us. In the Bible, it is said that make your treasure not in this world, but make your treasure in the kingdom of God. Because in this world, your treasure will be stolen by thieves, or rusted by the elements, or eaten by moths. But if you make your treasure in the kingdom of God, it is perfect and infallible. And then Jesus said, the kingdom of God is within. And similarly, Lord Krishna tells in the Gita that one should find pleasure within. One should find satisfaction within. One should be enlightened and illuminated from within. That is a person of substantial quality life and real intelligence. We should seek that eternal reality beyond all the sufferings of this world and find real happiness.
Okay, that is the end of today's class. Anything you all want